anything like me when I first started working out, you're nothing much more than just skinny fat little noodle arms. Nothing much is really showing, right? So if you really want to build those cap delts, the one that I'm showing here, and I know what I'm talking about because I'm not some 5'4" like fitness influencer, okay? I'm 6'4". It took me a long time to build out my frame, and I went through all the mistakes. So I'll tell you the exact six things that you need to focus on that'll fast track that for you. The only 6 things that really matter if you want to finally grow out those arms to actually look good in a singlet while you're walking around. One of the best feelings I ever had was being able to rock up to the gym, to the beach, get the singlet out, actually really enjoy the way my arms are looking in the mirror, checking myself out. If that is what you want, listen up, okay? I'll run through it super quick. The first thing, maybe not obvious, maybe it is, you need a dedicated arm day. Too many of us, especially when I first started out, I would do back and bis, okay? Chest and tris. That's the obvious split that we always hear. You know, hit your biceps after your back day, hit your triceps after chest. And all that does is it leaves you fried at the end and you're not really pushing hard. You're not actually putting the muscles to failure, the shoulders, the arms. Those are the key things. So they needed their own arm day. When I swapped that out, I still followed a upper-lower split, but I would dedicate a whole day for hitting my arms. So hitting shoulders, biceps, and triceps. A whole day dedicated for that. So I could really go balls to the wall, really push hard, get the intensity up. That is the first key thing, okay? Do not neglect. If you want to build them up, it cannot be at the end of the workout. You need to have its own arm day. That's number 1. Number 2 is you need to focus on the side delts, okay? If you are hitting your chest day, your push day, your pull day effectively, you're hitting enough of the front shoulder, the posterior, the rear delt, like that. That is more than gonna develop through your heavy movements, through your bench press, your dumbbell press, through your heavy rows, whatever it is that you're doing. You're gonna be hitting that. I never hit any rear delt flies. I never hit any front raises. All that I do is overhead press and side lateral raises. Mostly just side lateral raises these days, if I'll be honest, because I'm dealing with a bit of a shoulder injury myself. So you need to put emphasis on that, okay? That is number 2. Number 3 is you need to get lean, okay? I always had the muscle there, but over 6 months when I was shredding down, I was like, each time I was going to the gym, I was like, fuck, my shoulders are getting bigger. Like, well, they're looking better in these videos that I'm taking. What's going on? It's just that I'm getting leaner. Like I was holding a lot of like just this skinny fat, extra fat, visceral fat around my shoulders, around my biceps, triceps. And when you get lean, it actually reveals that, okay? So that's one of the things. You might not actually need to put on more muscle from this stage. Maybe you've been going to the gym for a few years. You've built up most of the strength, the power, the muscle definition, it's gonna be there. You need to reveal it like a sculpture, okay? So that's number 3, get lean. Number 4 is you need to alternate between cables and dumbbells. So with your lateral raises, where I said laterals are the important things that you need to be doing, you need to be focusing on doing some dumbbell work, okay? That's gonna be really good, but you need to get some cable work in there as well, because think about it. When you're doing your dumbbells, what's the hardest part of the exercise? When you get to that top bit there, but from here to here, that's just a bit of momentum. You can kind of just swing your arm out. It's not really working in that bottom part here because of gravity, it's pushing down, right? So it gets harder as you're pulling up. So that's why it's good to get some cable work so you can get that constant tension. Something is pulling this string as you're going up. So focus on some cable laterals to throw in there as a variation. All you need to do is dumbbell lateral raise, cable lateral raise. If you have some machines in your gym that are doing some shoulder lateral raise, you can go for that too. And that's it. You don't need to keep it extra complicated, okay? The next one is your traps are stealing the show. This is something I used to struggle with, is I was going too heavy on my lateral raise and I wasn't actually using my shoulders. I wasn't actually focusing on the contraction there. I would get here and it would get too heavy and then I would do this shrug to get it up over here. And I would realize over time I was developing my traps, but my lateral raise, my lateral muscles in my shoulders, they were lagging because I was allowing my ego to get in the way and I was letting other muscle groups put the work in. So make sure that you're doing that. You should go heavy. It's okay to get a little bit of a swing in there, but make sure you're controlling it. Make sure you're concentrating, you've got that mind-muscle connection so you are sure that you're actually hitting the lateral raise. You should be burning towards the end of that. If you're not, then you're not hitting it correctly, okay? So don't let the traps overtake your lateral raises, otherwise it's gonna take away from that effectiveness. The last one is resting between sets. Rest 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, maybe even 2.5 minutes. When I used to do my shoulder work, because they're such a small little group, I would just do like my lateral raise. I'd go to failure and then I give it like 30 seconds. And then I'd go again. I kind of treat it like abs in a way. You know, when you do your abs, you go, you hit a set and then it's like, okay, 30-second rounds, go, go, go. For lateral raise, like you need to treat them as chest, as biceps, as back, whatever it is. It is still a muscle group. So you need to hit it with complete intensity, okay? Go to absolute failure, okay, until you can't swing anymore. And then you drop the weight and you give yourself the proper rest to then attack it again, okay? Don't give yourself 30 seconds, you're not recovered. You need to give at least 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. So that was the other thing that I changed, properly attacking each set as if they are just another muscle group. They're not just some afterthought, like when you're doing your ab circuits and you'll do like some sit-ups and you'll go and do your leg raises and then you're just doing circuits of that. That's not gonna build the muscle, okay? It feels good, the burns are nice, but it's not what you're going to be able to progressively overload in. You need that rest time, you need that intensity. So if you really want to build those cap delts, those arms, something that looks good in a singlet, this is exactly the few things that you need to focus on. And if this is something that you want help with, actually building out a routine for you to build up your physique, because trust me, man, I've been through it all, especially being my height, 6'4". Took me a long time to build out, okay? So I know what I'm talking about. If you want one-on-one help, there is a link in the description below and I will help you one-on-one. We can jump on a call. So hopefully this helps, man. I'll see you in the next one.